Good evening. I'm NET News Director Dennis Kellogg. Thanks for joining us on another special episode of Speaking of Nebraska, COVID-19 Town Hall with Governor Pete Ricketts, who is back to answer your questions, along with Dr. Mohammed Salman Ashraf from the University of Nebraska Medical Center, an infectious disease expert there, and also the medical director of the Nebraska Infection Control Assessment and Promotion Program. Also, Jay Beller is with us, the executive director of the Nebraska School Activities Association. You can join in the conversation tonight as well. Give us a call. The number is 800-676-5446. You can also call 402-472-1212, and you can send us an email, news@netnebraska.org. Well, Governor Ricketts, testing has been seen as an important part of opening up the state. Test Nebraska, the $27 million program set up as the main source for testing in the state, is about a week and a half into it now. A little more than 2,300 people were tested last week, and your goal is to get to 3,000 a day in the next few weeks. Now, you've acknowledged there's been a few bumps in the road as the state gets started with this program, but how realistic is it to think that we're going to reach this goal by the end of the month?
Sure. So what we are doing is rolling out the program. We said, last week was going to be our soft launch. We were going to start bringing people into tests, but we weren't going to be at that 3,000 tests per day capacity. And just like any new program, we're working out the best way to manage the program and looking for improvements and making those changes to be able to do a better job for folks. And that's, gradually going to ramp up. And one of the things to get to 3,000 tests per day is we need people to sign up for testnebraska.com. That's going to be important. We've got about 4 mobile testing teams out right now working, Omaha and Lincoln. We're going to be in Norfolk and Lexington the next couple of days. And then we'll continue to add on 2 more teams, and each of those teams will have the capacity to do about 500 a day. So a big part of getting to that 3,000, though, is making sure that people sign up and that we can, get those folks to schedule times to be able to get to that 500. But already we've seen really good results from the standpoint of we've been doing about 1,700 tests per day. The last couple of days we've been more like 3,800 tests per day, all in. So not just Test Nebraska, but also the tests we were doing through the Nebraska Public Health Lab and Nebraska Medicine and CHI and Bryan and all the commercial labs and all that sort of thing. So everybody all in together have been doing about 1,700 trades a day or tests a day. And now we're up to that figure of about 3,300. So really excited to be able to make that progress and look forward to continuing to expand that program.
I want to ask you about what happens after that positive test comes back, and that involves contact tracers who help track down people who may have been exposed to the virus. They're another key part of the testing and reopening plan. You want 1,000 contact tracers, 277 trained right now. How long is it going to take us to get to 1,000, and how are we going to do it?
So what we've started with, let me take a step back actually. So contact tracing is nothing new. This is what public health departments have been doing forever, right? It's a very proven and effective way to control the spread of a disease. And usually it's done by our local public health departments. We've got 19 public health departments across the state. So they would do that, and they'd have anywhere between maybe a couple people to maybe a dozen people who would normally do this. But with the huge demand for this with regard to the number of people that are testing positive with coronavirus, the state is ramping up a team to support the local public health departments. And that's that 277 people I referenced in 8 different teams. We act as a supplement to those local public health departments. And those have been primarily DHHS people, so people in children and family services or behavioral health or developmental disabilities. So that's kind of our short-term plan to get some needed resources to those local public health districts. A medium-term plan is we're starting to work with private companies and train up some of their people to be able to augment our current people. And then ultimately what we want to do is go out and get a contract for somebody to create a semi-permanent organization, at least through the end of the year, early into next year, that would then take this over, and that would get us up to that 1,000 contact tracers per day. And that would allow us to really focus on the people who are infected, the people who are impacted, get them to isolate, keep them away from other people so they don't infect the community, and then contact all the people they've been associated with to let them know that they may be exposed, figure out what degree they may have been exposed. Were they really close for a long period of time, or did they just pass somebody in a hallway? That kind of thing. So, and then you get those people to monitor the symptoms and quarantine where appropriate.
So it's still going to take us a while, though, to get to the 1,000.
Well, we're hoping to ramp that up as quickly as possible, but certainly, again, we got the 277 trained up in the matter of about 2 weeks. So if we can get some of these private companies on board for the medium-term solution, we think we can get, maybe up to 500, and then get a contract in to get to that 1,000. But hopefully we can get that ramped up reasonably quickly to be able to coincide with the ramp up in the testing to, testnebraska.com.
Dr. Ashraf, I want to bring you into this conversation as well. There are now about 9,500 cases of COVID-19 in the state. 113 Nebraskans have died. The number of new cases has been climbing each week since the pandemic began, with big increases in the last 3 weeks in particular. But with about 1,100 new cases confirmed so far this week, the state could be on track for the number to drop for the first time. And another factor to consider is the positivity rate. The rate of COVID-19 tests that come back positive grew rapidly in mid-April, but appears to be declining starting last week. So obviously the big question is, does this data show Nebraska has reached its peak in cases?
Well, it appears to be that, we probably at the peak and the plateau there, and we might even be on the way decline now. Now, we have to wait a few more days.
Let's not get cocky yet. Be cautious.
Yeah. So we still have to see a few more days, because what happens is that with the testing is the number of tests that is happening, and sometimes also impact the number of tests that are coming back positive, correct? So we just have to be careful and see the data for over a period of few days before we start to kind of say, okay, we are definitely on a decline or something like that. So yeah, so I think there is a hope. And we should be looking forward to that, but we still have to do all the basic things that we need to do. The social distancing is still important. Wearing your mask, face coverings is still important. If you're going for the shopping, as we have the 6 steps, if you're going for shopping, just go for the shopping by yourself and, do the shopping, and that's it. Don't want to socialize, right in the shopping area and things like that. So I think those important things we still have to follow. Those basic principles we still have to follow. Hand hygiene, all of those things. And if we follow that, I think we will continue to see, that we are on the right path.
We'll still have to take a couple of weeks of data in our rearview mirror, though, before we know that for sure.
Yes, 100%, yes.
Yeah. Jay Beller, I want to bring you in as well. The Nebraska Education Commissioner Matt Bloomstead has indicated his department is going to work collaboratively with local school districts to determine whether to have in-person or remote instruction when school begins in the fall. I want to know how that decision is going to affect sports. Will students have to be physically in school and on campus in order to move forward with fall sports? And if some are and some aren't, will every school still get to participate?
Yeah, that's a good question. Basically, when we talked to Matt, and he's kept us in the loop, as well as the governor's office, about how this would look when we start schools, and working remotely, if the local health departments and the governor's office and the commissioner of education and we all agree that it's something we can do, as long as we follow the parameters set, that we will start our sports if we can. Now, the big question I've been asked a lot is, will all sports start at the same time? Because as we know, golf, we can find that separation of 6 feet and kind of keep that throughout the match most of the time anyway. Whereas in football and soccer and things like that, it's not so easy to do. So I think it's going to be predicated on a lot of different things. We would sure like to. But again, we're going to work closely with the other officials to make that determination.
And what are those big markers that you're going to be looking at to say, yeah, it's okay to move forward, or no, we better slow down a little bit here?
Well, I think that comes again from what our health people are telling us at the time, that it is okay to, we all know what the competition brings, and a lot of times we've heard so much about the 6-foot rule and the 10 people or less. So it's going to be predicated a lot on the numbers we have in place at that point in time, and if we can deviate from some of those things, so we can play those activities.
It's pretty safe to say, though, if we have football in the fall, it's not going to look like it has in past years.
I think that's pretty safe to say. We're all coming down with the realization that especially the game probably won't change. I wouldn't think the game would change itself, but the way it looks is going to change. The number of people in the crowds probably is going to be affected. And again, that's a direct reflection on our office too, because that's how we financially that we survive. So that's something that we take into consideration then when we do these things.
We'll be talking more about that throughout the program. Governor, we have a question from Bill in Blair who says, when testing ability was limited, pool testing was performed to increase the capacity. In the near future, when testing will increase to 3,000 a day, why is pool testing not performed to increase that capacity to 15,000 to 20,000 a day?
Yeah, so Bill's actually got a really good point there with regard to pooling, because that's one of the things. In fact, there was a New York Times editorial that was really praising with the work we were doing here in Nebraska to be able to expand our capacity to do the pooling. And so kind of what you do is you have to take, say, 5 samples and you put them all together and they all come back negative, well, you know they all were negative. But if one of them comes back positive, then you have to go back and retest all the others. So the reason why you might not want to do that as you have more testing capacity is that it takes longer, right? So if I run a test and one of those does come back positive, then I got to retest everybody. And so that's going to delay everybody's test results. We did that early on because we really wanted to expand the testing capacity. It works better also when you've got lower rates of people testing positive, so then you don't have as many of those batches that all turn out. So certainly that's one of the potentials we may do. So, I mean, again, we've been doing this about a week and a half now, so give us a chance to kind of get the program going here, Bill. But Bill's absolutely right. We might look at that for Test Nebraska to say, hey, if we see that % positive rate stay in that, say, 3% range or even 5% range, it may make a ton of sense for us to be able to start pooling those samples, knowing that we will still be able to get back to most of those people pretty quickly, versus if you have high % positive testing, you got a lot more likelihood that you're going to have to retest a batch, and that's going to slow things down.
Governor, I want to ask you this question, but Dr. Ashraf, I want to bring you in on it as well. A couple of questions, actually, that have to do with retirement facilities. Harold in Grand Island asked, do you have the capability to test those in retirement facilities and other high-risk communities more frequently? And another member of the audience writes in, what is the number of COVID-19 cases for staff and residents in those facilities? Is everyone being tested, and should they sign up for Test Nebraska? Governor.
So, well, there's a lot of questions.
There's a lot of
questions unpacked there.
Throwing all this up.
So, and I'll let Dr. Ashraf was really kind of the expert here, and he should talk a little bit about his background because he's been doing this infection control thing for 4.5 years now here in Nebraska. But you know what we've been following, the policy we've been following is if you keep those populations isolated, you don't need to go back in and test all of them. What you really need to do is focus on the workers. Now, if we do find somebody who tests positive, then yeah, we will come in and we will test where we think appropriate. All the workers, all the residents, or maybe just the residents within a wing, and I'll let Dr. Ashraf kind of expand upon that, because what we're trying to do is be smart about how we do this. So we definitely have the capacity to go in and do what we need to do if there's a call for it. The specific numbers off the top of my head, you know, I saw them today. I don't remember them off the top of my head.
Talking to him in your press conferences every day, you're pretty much...
Yeah, I usually call Dr. Antone up to give those numbers. So maybe Dr. Ashraf knows off the top of his head. Do you know?
Yeah, so I know the numbers of you know, there are about 93 facilities that have either a staff or resident positive. I think somewhere around, so somewhere around less than 100.
But you know how many residents have tested positive? About 280
yes.
something?
The 189, close to 200, 198.
198 staff or residents?
These are residents.
The residents.
These are residents.
And so, Doctor, talk a little bit about, because you're spending time in these long-term facilities, you're out there, you're seeing what's going on in there. What are you seeing? What are you finding?
Okay, so basically what I'm finding is that these facilities, they have been doing a great job in terms of screening, okay? The staff that are coming in, I think everyone in the facilities across the state has a very robust screening program. So no staff actually comes in without getting screened. They get your temperature checked. They ask about the symptoms, whether they have any fever, cough, shortness of breath, and some other symptom like body ache and things like that. So those things are happening every time. However, sometimes if the facility now start to see COVID-19 cases, they can get really fast overwhelmed, because the transmission rate in the long-term care facilities, based on how they are, even though they have isolated the residents in their room for the most part, but there are memory care units where it's very hard to keep the residents in their room. They just not know what's going on. They come out, their usual activities, and they have to constantly direct them. So they're actually fighting very hard, to keep everyone in their room. But then transmission sometimes do happen, and when they do happen, they can get overwhelmed really, really fast. And that's where we help them to kind of, staffing shortages can happen really quick because they are staffed for the number of people that they have to take care of. Now we start to develop zones, Basically, you have a red zone where you have COVID positive patient, you have a quarantine zone where you have exposed patient, you have this, green zone where there are non-exposed patients, and you're trying to staff separately. You're trying to as much cohort them and staff them separately. That can triple the number of staff you need, and some of the staff, if they have come back positive themselves, they're out of the work also, or they are exposed, they can be out of work too. So their staffing situation can get really, really cumbersome. And then, the personal protective equipment requirement, that can change dramatically in that situation. So I think one thing that we have been doing is connecting with different pieces in the state health department, and when we are assessing from our point of view, from the ICAP point of view, the facilities, and we see a need, we directly alert the relevant people in the local health department and the state health department to get them PPE. It can be a struggle sometime, because they went from no required gowns today. They didn't need any gowns today, and tomorrow they might be needing 300-400 gowns a day. So that is very large mobilization that you have to do. So sometimes they actually do have to struggle for a few days before that happens. So those are the type of challenges that they are seeing in the long-term care facilities.
And Dr. Jan writes in, how has COVID-19 affected our veterans and staff in our Nebraska State Veterans Homes? Any difference there than the other long-term facilities?
No, all the long-term care facilities are having similar issues. Even assisted living facilities, now we have seen less cases in assisted living facilities than the long-term care facilities, definitely. But all the long-term care facilities have been seeing that. And if you kind of add on top of long-term care facilities number to the assisted living facilities number, I think the number goes up a little bit more, So, so I think my numbers might be wrong because memory may not be working.
Sure.
But, it's around that area. Yeah.
Would you say the difference in assisted living, it gets back to, again, the nature of the work? So in a long-term care facility, there may be much more close contact between the workers and the residents versus an assisted living facility where the residents are much more independent. Is that fair?
Yes, because the high contact activities of the staff and the residents are much less likely in an assisted living facilities. They still happen,
yeah,
but less frequently than what it happens in the nursing home. So that's where the difference usually happens. I think the exposure part is much higher in the nursing homes.
Jay Beller, a question comes in from Dexter in Lincoln. With medical offices opening back up for elective procedures and visits last week, why does the NSAA feel it's necessary to postpone the annual physical requirement for student athletes for the fall semester?
Yeah, that's a good question. We did that back when, matter of fact, we got called from numerous doctor groups saying, would you think about doing that because we are having trouble getting kids in. At this point in time, we can't get kids in, and we're just thinking it's not a good idea to have that requirement. So what we try to do right away is call other states. First of all, talk to our attorney. We have a bylaw that says this is what we're going to do each year after May 1st, a new physical is needed. Can we do something like that? And he said, yeah, it would take some amendment of what we do. And so we went that way to talk to other states. A lot of the other states are going to that same type of deal. We also talked to our national federation, which it was their recommendation through their SMAC committee, which is their organization of doctors, that we would allow that for just the 1 year. So we'll do that 1 year, and after that it'll go back to a physical every year. Our freshmen, incoming freshmen, because the NSAA is a 9-12 organization, they will have to still get a physical, and that all deals with our catastrophic insurance. So that's what we've been asked to do this year.
Okay. Governor Ricketts, many Nebraskans have asked us about COVID-19 and its impact on minorities in the state and health officials are asking for this data as well. Nebraska is now one of only 4 states not reporting COVID-19 cases or deaths by race, but 2 regional health departments are releasing that data. In Lancaster County, Hispanic residents make up about 7% of the population, but account for about 24% of COVID-19 cases, and Asian residents are less than 5% of the population, but make up 33% of infections. And those disparities are mirrored in Douglas County, where Hispanics less than 13% of the population, but more than 45% of the cases, and Asians about 4% of the population, but more than 16% of the infections. And Nebraska is the only state in the nation not reporting COVID-19 cases broken down by age. So can you talk a little bit more about why the data hasn't been released, and will it be released soon?
Well, sure. So again, let's take a step back. That most of this contact tracing, which is where you get this information from, is done by local public health departments. And so if the local public health department wasn't collecting that data, there wasn't any data for us to go get to collate on a statewide basis. Douglas County was already doing it. I think Lincoln just started doing it today or this week. So even Lincoln had to start pulling this data together. They weren't capturing it before, I believe. I could be wrong with that. But some of our other public health departments haven't been doing that either. So, but we've been working as the state with our public health departments to start collecting that information. And of course, you got to go, we're trying to get it in a good picture of it. So it is taking time to pull all that together. And remember that we're still trying to do all the contact tracing to get people to isolate so they don't infect the rest of the community, which is the priority. However, having said all that, we expect to be able, by the end of the month, to be able to have that data pulled together from all the health departments to be able to present a statewide picture with regard to what it's going to look like for race and ethnicity.
So end of the month is still...
That's our plan. Yeah, I think we had Josie Rodriguez here on your show here last week or the week before, whatever it was. But yes, that's the plan is to have it by the end of the month.
Okay. Nebraskans also asking us about other data the state has not released on a regular basis. Chris in Omaha sent us this video.
My name is Chris from Omaha. Governor, my question is on flattening the curve. We get daily updates on new positive tests and if anyone else has passed away. My understanding is flattening the curve is not to stress the medical system. Wouldn't a daily report on how many people were released from the hospital and how many were admitted better tell the people if the curve was flat or spiking?
So again, another data question.
Yeah, so I think actually Chris has got a great point, and it gets back to kind of what are the local health departments actually collecting. So for example, in Douglas County, Dr. Adipour does capture the recovery, the people who are recovering. And again, as we build out the capacity to be able to do some of the blocking and tackling things that we have to do, like race, ethnicity, we can certainly take a look at, and actually I like Chris's suggestion about looking at how many people have checked into the hospital and how people have checked out. Again, that's a different data stream though, because that requires us getting that data from the hospitals, and we're still working on getting regular data in from the hospitals to make sure that we have that overall system. So I think it's a great thing to track, and we'll take a look at that down the road, but we kind of got to get the priority things done first.
Kevin in Grand Island asks, while I understand the concern in Grand Island about the number of positive tests, how can a county like Dawson or Colfax have eased restrictions before Hall County? Our per capita number of positive tests is much lower than those counties, and we have more hospital capacity than they do. He says these restrictions are killing our local economy. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and again, one of the things we do is we want to make sure that we don't give the virus a chance to be able to come back and create another spike. And so that's, maybe because Grand Island was so heavily impacted, we're maybe a little bit more sensitive there, but we want to work together with the local public health officials and be able to do that in a way that's going to make sense. So we're having those conversations, and again, some of the other public health directors, we had the conversation, they were going to May 31st. 4 of them we just pulled back either to May 13th or to May 18th. So as those public health directors looked at their data, they wanted to change, and we'll continue to reevaluate as we get more data. So if the data continues to look good, we'll probably look at that central public health district and make some different decisions.
John in Fremont asks, can you explain why organized sports are singled out? Is there a reason we can't hold voluntary training for small groups, 6 total people on fields that are open? He says, I would urge someone to come to a group session of mine for an hour and then go to Costco for an hour and discuss with me which one is safer.
Sure. Let's go back to what we've actually said with regard to what is in our DHM for May, and we've said no organized team sports. So what he's talking about, if you had a voluntary thing where you had, again, kept another 10-person rule and kept to the 6-foot distancing, and we're doing that outside, nobody would say anything about that, okay? So when you're talking about those sort of things, and I'll give you another example of one of the things we said was okay, is if you are a for-profit business that sells memberships, for example, to bring individuals in to do coaching, say a pitching coach or something like that, that's okay too. So what we don't want is those organized team sports, because it's large groups of people that drives the spread of the virus. If you look at all the things we've done, where do we have a lot of our issues? Well, we talked about long-term care facilities, concentrations of people living together. We've talked about our food processors, concentrations of people working together. You talk about why do we have kids move out of the classrooms first thing? Concentrations of people. In fact, probably the most concentration of people we have in our society is in those classrooms. So it's all those things where you have people getting together that causes us the most concern about the spread of the virus. And that's why we've really focused on sports, because you've got a bunch of people coming together, and that's going to create an environment where you could spread the virus. So again, in the conditions that he was laying out, nobody's going to say anything if you keep it under 10 people and it's not an organized team sport. If it's just, 6 kids getting together to play in a, to do something, and it was the same group of kids, that's not going to give me heartache. But what we want to do is make sure we're not allowing for those large groups to get together and create that opportunity to spread the virus.
And Jay, how important is it to have the student athletes be able to have some of these camps and some of the things that normally the training that goes on in the summer in order to open up the fall sports on time?
Oh, I think it's very important, but I would piggyback off what Governor Ricketts just said is, from our standpoint, we thought when working with the governor's office that if we could get our weight rooms and our conditioning in, that's usually the start of each season and what those kids want to do. First of all, some of them haven't been doing anything for a long time now. Now, some of them have probably been running on their own and maybe lifting weights on their own. But to bring them back, we thought a good start to this process would be, let's let them get in the weight room, start to get back in shape, do their conditioning in the gym or outside, as long as they're following the protocol of 10 in a group, 10 in a room, 6-foot social distancing, cleaning the machines and cleaning the rooms as best they can. And again, small groups, let's start smaller, and hopefully if we do a good job of this, our goal is hopefully we get a fall season. And if we don't take care of this summer, I don't see it happening in the fall, and I don't want that to happen, so I'm hoping everybody buys in.
Yeah, I just want to piggyback exactly what Jay said. It is about, hey, we're taking this one step at a time to make sure that we can roll these things out and not endanger the healthcare system. Again, that's the long-term goal of everything we're doing, all the restrictions. Make sure that everybody who wants that hospital bed or needs that hospital bed or that ventilator can get that ventilator. That's what this is all about. So the analogy I've used is speed limit one that I've talked about on this show. We've reduced the speed limit in our society essentially down to 5 miles an hour. Now we're trying to find out what is that right speed by taking a step at a time. And what we've done with regard to youth baseball and softball is that step at a time, or that step in the gyms that looks a lot like what we're doing with, healthcare facilities, where you can have 10 people, equipment spread out 6 feet apart, that kind of stuff. We're taking it as a step at a time. And assuming that goes well, then we'll start loosening restrictions more that will allow larger groups of people to get together and more sports and things like that.
So let me follow up on that. Abby in Lyons says she thinks it's easier to social distance on a horse than on a ball field. So she says, why can we have youth baseball and softball but not youth rodeo? And I would point out that the National High School Finals Rodeo is scheduled for Lincoln in July. That's a huge event with a big economic impact. Do you think it's going to go on as scheduled?
Yeah, so I'm going to defer to the National High School Rodeo people with regard to whether they think that event can go forward. And again, a lot will depend on what happens here in June, too. So whatever event does go forward will look very different, kind of the point we were talking about before with regard to what football will look like. All these events are going to look different. They're not going to look like they did last year. So, and with regard to the rodeo, we're starting with that youth baseball and softball. We will get to other sports as well. So we will examine those other sports and figure out what are the guidelines to be able to hold those, similar to what we did with the youth baseball. So again, we're not just saying you can just go do a Little League baseball team. What we're saying is, okay, here's the guidelines. You got to have everybody spread 6 feet apart. You can't have them in the dugout during practice. You got to have, no fans can watch, right? During practice. You got to keep the bleachers empty. If people are going to watch, it's only household members during games. And you can't sit in the bleachers, and you got to either bring your own chair or stand. We put in a lot of guidelines to really get that idea of social distancing across for that. So if we're going to start doing that for other sports, we want to kind of learn a little bit and then be able to set up the same sort of guidelines to, again, make sure we're not getting large groups of people together that will spread the virus.
Governor, most of the state has already begun to see relaxed social distancing requirements, and by Monday, all but 4 counties will have started to allow beauty salons and restaurants to partially reopen. But some local officials have different perspectives on when to start reopening. Paul in Lincoln asks us this question.
My name's Paul, and I'm from Lincoln, Nebraska. Governor Ricketts, in a recent press conference, Lincoln's Mayor Lyrian Gaylor-Baird stated that she went to the state seeking to have the existing directed health measures in effect at the time extended further into May, a request which was, quote, flatly rejected by the state. How do you justify this decision?
And Governor, I want to ask you as well, Grand Island Mayor Roger Steele has also said that he's requested some stricter measures for his city, and you didn't necessarily agree with that. So when you emphasize the importance of taking a regional approach to reopening, how much do you weigh the opinions of the local officials?
Well, certainly we take the opinions in as well, but we're making database decisions. So let's take Lincoln right now. If you look at the hospital capacity in Lincoln, we've got tons of hospital capacity. I didn't bring the numbers off the top of my head, but we have a large percentage of the hospital beds, a large percentage of the ICU beds, and even a larger percentage of the ventilators. In fact, the last time I can recall looking at a ventilator, it was earlier this week, over 80% of the ventilators in Lincoln are available. 80%. We're not even close to start using any of the hospital capacity here in Lincoln. So there's no data to support having more restrictions on Lincoln than, say, Omaha. And again, if you just look at the last couple of days, I think that yesterday, Omaha reported 111 cases, Lincoln reported 14. So, you know, you're seeing that there's just not the data to support having stricter restrictions. And again, when we're talking about the mayor of Grand Island, for example, and this was going back to, beginning of April, they were talking, about what are some of the steps we could take, and they were like, hey, can you close down different companies? And we're like, guys, that's not the way this works. There are things that even if you want to do something like a shelter in place, there's essential industries, and the things you want to have happen aren't going to happen. So we did work with the community of Grand Island to get them more testing resources, to get them more contact tracing resources, and those sort of things, to be able to help deal with it, manage to move people out of the hospital to create the hospital capacity so that it was never overwhelmed. So we did take steps to be able to help manage Grand Island, working together with the local public health folks. And in fact, I've got calls set up every week with the mayor and with the public health director in Grand Island to be able to talk through, see how things are going. And in the call we had last week, everybody was feeling like things had stabilized, and they were certainly want to be cautious. We all want to be cautious with this virus, but they were feeling like, hey, they had turned a corner in Grand Island and things were stable.
Reminder, you're watching a special episode of Speaking of Nebraska with Governor Pete Ricketts, Dr. Mohammed Salman Ashraf, an infectious disease expert at the University of Nebraska Medical Center, and Jay Beller, the executive director of the Nebraska School Activities Association. Give us a call, the number 800-676-5446 or 402-472-1212. You can also send us questions on social media. Find us on Facebook and Twitter at NET News Nebraska. Governor Ricketts, when you look at the measure of health system capacity, the state has succeeded in flattening the curve, but several Nebraskans have asked us about other reasons to delay COVID-19 infections. Here's Anthony in Lincoln.
My name is Anthony Schutz from Lincoln, Nebraska. I've heard you say multiple times that the whole goal of all of our social distancing and all of the measures that we're taking is to maintain hospital capacity. My question is, why is that the only goal? Wouldn't it be better to reduce transmissions to as low of a level as we can in order to maintain health for as long as we can, awaiting a vaccine? That is, why isn't it better to try to kill the virus or at least delay infections as opposed to simply trying to maintain hospital capacity?
So, Governor, the long-term consequences of COVID-19 still unknown, but is there a downside to maintaining distancing and more restrictions until we have better treatments for the virus or even until a vaccine is in place? Sure,
there's a lot of good reasons why we don't do this. First of all, let's go back to more than 2 months ago when all the public health experts set the ground rules. They said, hey, this is a virus. Nobody's got any immunity to it, which means that you cannot stop it from coming. All you can do is slow it down to prevent that peak that then overwhelms your healthcare system. We've done that wonderfully well here in Nebraska. It's been hugely successful. We've put restrictions in place. Our healthcare system has remained intact, even in places like Grand Island where we had communities that were particularly impacted. We've been able to manage it so that everybody's been able to get that hospital bed, that ventilator. So we've been wonderfully successful. But there are costs to it too. Okay, so it doesn't come for free. For example, there are mental health issues that go along with this, drug and alcohol abuse issues that go along with that isolation that people feel when they're not a part of the community. There's domestic violence issues that go along with this. So all these things that isolate people have impacts, and they impact also people that are lower income disproportionately than people who are higher income. And so all these things have other consequences to that isolation and shutting things down. So that's one reason why you don't want to do it. Another is that if you put these restrictions in place, and this is another thing the public health people told us a couple months ago, if you do it too early, at some point people get tired and they just stop doing it. And they may stop doing it right when you need them to do it the most. So by starting to loosen these restrictions, we're trying to find out what that right speed is to manage the virus, to maintain the healthcare system, but also not have people just broadly start saying, hey, I'm not going to pay attention to these things at all. And then finally, with regard to a vaccine, we all hope there's going to be a vaccine. The earliest I have talked to anybody about that they think widely available vaccine could potentially would be early next year. We can't, expect people are going to continue to follow these restrictions for the next 8 months. They're just, you've seen some of the other questions on the other side. We've had them on the show. There's just not going to be the tolerance for that long term to be able to do it. So you have to manage the virus. And of course, in the newspaper yesterday, Michael Ryan from the WHO, who is a well-respected scientist, said there may never be a vaccine. There's no vaccine for AIDS. People have been trying for that for decades. Mm-hmm. There's no 100% effective vaccine for the flu. Every year we get flu shots, sometimes they're 40% effective. So we need to be thinking about how we manage this virus for the long term. And certainly we're going to be managing this virus till the end of the year and into next year before there's a vaccine. So we've got to start finding out, again, what is the right speed for our society to be able to start loosening some of these restrictions, let people go back to a more normal life. It's not going to be normal, but we can get more normal, like letting youth baseball and softball start, right? That's a step on that path. And then make sure that we're continuing to maintain our hospital system so that anybody needs that health care, because there are a certain percentage of people who will need a ventilator. We got to make sure that ventilator is available for them when they need it. And that's what we're managing this all towards, that hospital bed, that ICU bed, that ventilator, to make sure we can provide that health care.
Dr. Ashraf, let's talk about the restrictions in particular with nursing facilities. Judith writes in and says, it's been going on 8 weeks since anyone in my family has been able to visit our mother. Alternative ways to connect haven't worked because she just doesn't understand what this virus is about and why we can't visit. Just ends up agitating her. The longer this goes on, it gets harder not to wonder if she will even recognize us the next time we see her. How important is it to keep these restrictions on these particular facilities?
So it is very important. It is very important to take a stepwise approach and kind of see the overall picture. Yes, we are seeing maybe a little bit plateau right now, but I can tell you that there are nursing homes across different counties that are still seeing an increase in their case counts. We have to be careful. We have seen examples where more than 50% of the residents in a particular facility just all of a sudden in a few days became positive, up to 60-70%, close to 100% actually sometime. So we have seen that example. So the containment effort is very important. Now, I'm not saying that we shouldn't be looking into ways of how we can gradually relax some of these recommendations. I think we should, as we go forward, look into that and maybe county by county. But the thing is that there is one other when you start to think about reopening the nursing home. One of the things that is also a factor here is that the nursing homes have guidance from the CMS, the Center for Medicare Services, that guide the federal guidance that guide the nursing homes. So they are working on a plan right now. Also, as far my understanding is. So basically, they're probably going to look into what criteria the nursing homes can fulfill. To start slowing those restrictions down. Definitely, if you have a positive COVID-19 patient, you cannot, I cannot stress more, they cannot, get that restrictions loosened at all, because those facilities will see a very rapid increase in numbers. So I think that is the most important thing that we have to. Now, within that restriction, so I was talking to a facility, and I was asking, how are you keeping those residents active while they're in the room? What are you doing? And so they said, well, it's hard for us, but our activity director is going into room by room all day long and doing a one-on-one activity with all of our residents. So that's their innovation. They come up with that. Nobody told them to kind of come up with this plan, but they decided that that's how we're going to keep them at least do some activity. So we cannot get them in a group and do the activity, but we can go one-on-one and do some activity with them. In terms of visits, window visits, the nursing homes have allowed some window visits, where they can have that. So people are coming up with some innovative ideas, to kind of find the ways to keep that, connection going,
But let me ask you, the governor talks a lot about just in the normal population that if you put the restrictions on and leave them on too long, people are going to start ignoring them. Well, in the nursing homes, if you're saying you've got to continue to keep them on, isn't there a concern about the mental health and not giving these people the hope?
Yes, definitely. I completely agree. And don't get me wrong, that's why I said that there is the CMS is already looking into that, coming up with the guidance on how they are going to, do that. And some of that guidance will depend on, what is, how many COVID cases you have seen in your facilities or in the county. So all of those things are going to come into play in deciding when you can start relaxing those recommendations. And I agree that we will have to have a mental health plan in place. Even with the recovery, even when we allow them to come out, there has to be some lasting impact that we have to deal with. So I agree that we need a plan, and there is a plan that is being forthcoming. So there is light at the end of the tunnel here. So I don't think that we are talking months here. It is coming soon.
That's good to know.
I would say we are going to be talking more about long-term care facilities tomorrow in my press briefing. So for people who are interested in this, tune in tomorrow at 2 o'clock Central Time, because we will be addressing this issue in more detail as well.
And we carry that on NET Radio as well. Jeanette from Lincoln has a question for you. She says, now that more things are reopening, are there protocols in place allowing managers to not accept customers who aren't wearing masks, coming in large family groups, and not following other guidelines?
Well, with regard to what individual store owners or restaurant owners want to do, I would leave that up to them on how they want to manage it. But certainly, if for example, you've got a store and your Costco, for example, is doing this already, and you're asking everybody to wear masks to come in, which is, by the way, an appropriate precaution, and somebody doesn't want to do it, then I think the manager absolutely can turn away that customer and say, hey, we've got these guidelines, we've got this rule, it's a public health emergency. Please follow the rules if you want to be a patron of my store.
Jay Beller, Executive Director of the NSAA. Bob and Kearney asks, what's the difference between opening a weight room and athletes following social distancing rules compared to opening a gym and letting athletes practice individual volleyball or basketball skills following the same social distancing rules? So could different sports be impacted differently? I want to ask you about that too, because for instance, there's lots of contact in wrestling and football, but maybe not so much, maybe some distancing in volleyball and other sports. I mean, how do you look at that?
I'll go back to what I said earlier. I think weight training and the conditioning part of what we do was a starting point for us. And I know they have good points about playing volleyball and doing things like that. But I think we had to start somewhere. We made the determination this is what we were going to do. And hopefully that, again, if we follow the protocol that we have in place now, maybe within 2 or 3 weeks, and I'm not saying that it can, but something else would open up that we could do these things. Because you asked earlier about, for our schools, for our kids, the part of their camps, and they're not only individual camps, but their teen camps are very important to them, and they love those things, and it goes on in the summer, and it's basically their pastime too. So And we talked, piggyback off what the gentleman over there talked about mental health. It's not only on the older end of the population, it's delved into our high school kids too, because I've had superintendents call me and said, Jay, you got to take that into account when you have these restrictions on there about our kids. They're struggling with this, even at the age of 14, 15, and 16. So,
how closely are you paying attention to what's going on in the surrounding states in the Midwest, how they're handling this?
Very much so. Matter of fact, tomorrow morning at 9:30, we have our Section 5 Zoom call. That will include North Dakota and South Dakota and Missouri, Minnesota, Kansas. Iowa is not in Section 5, but they always get on that call because we're such a tight-knit group. And the questions are a lot of the questions that were talked about tonight. What are you guys doing? What protocols are you having in place? Who are you bringing back? How are you allowing this to happen? Are you working closely with the governor's office and with your Department of Education? And there's a lot of similarities there, and I think people will be at maybe different speeds of doing things, but I think it's always something that we look at. What's Iowa doing? What's Kansas doing? Not to say that that's what we have to do, but it does give an indication what some of the states that are close to us are doing.
Governor, we have a question from Shannon. When will small-town bars be able to open up? Many small cars can easily self-distance. We've been closed for over 2 months and won't last much longer. Please expedite our opening.
Yep, so it's definitely, we're aware of the plight of bar owners. And again, it gets back to what we were talking about before with regard to those crowds gathering. And bars are one of those areas where crowds gather. And so we started kind of what Jay was just talking about. We had to start someplace. So we started with 50% capacity at restaurants. We're going to see how that just started May 4th. So we're really only 10 days into that. And you need at least 2 weeks because of the incubation time of the virus. You need at least 2 weeks to see what the impacts that you do. So if you do something on day 1, you probably won't see the impact till day 14 or 15 to begin. So we kind of need at least a couple, 3 weeks to see how the loosening that we did May 4th is going to impact things like percent positive case rates and hospitalization rates and that sort of thing. And then we'll be able to start looking at, well, what kind of steps are we going to take in June? We certainly are aware that bar owners are suffering through this. We want to start making some loosening of those rules. We just need a little bit more experience with this to make sure that whatever we do, we're not going to let the virus get back in and start growing quickly. So it's a balance and a trade-off. And I certainly appreciate where she's coming from because I understand we get a lot of feedback along those lines, but we got to take this just one step at a time to make sure we don't let the virus have a chance to get a foothold.
Both Karen from Omaha and Christina asked similar questions. When can we start driver's testing and manual testing by appointment? Christina says, I'm a nurse. I'd be happy to assist in with or discuss minimal PPE that would be needed. It's not fair to not give a valid option for people who need this service.
So we're talking about just regular driver's licenses?
Yes.
So,
and testing.
Yeah, actually, so we've got our service centers that are open in Omaha. So that's an option right now. Now, what we have done, though, for anybody who already has a license that's expiring, we've said, hey, your license is good until 30 days after the end of the emergency. So if you are looking to get a driver's license renewed, you are fine. And I'll have to go back and just double check, but I'm pretty sure that we are starting to do for those new driver's tests, allowing people to, because we have our service centers in Omaha open, we do have the ability to be able to do those new driver's tests there already. So I think that's actually available.
Carol from Curtis asks, I live in an assisted living community with 14 other residents, and we've had no cases of COVID here. We've been under quarantine for over a month now. Many of us haven't seen our families in that amount of time and need the interaction. Dr. Ashraf, I know you've touched on this a little bit, but is there anything that you're seeing that's going on in these nursing homes that they could do better to help these residents?
So, I think I answered one of that question.
Dr. Ashraf, you got to quit touching your face. We're not supposed to do that.
Leave them alone.
You're right. And if you do that, you have to do hand hygiene.
Yeah, okay.
So
well,
as soon as I'm done here,
first thing I'm expecting you to go to see the hand sanitizer since you're off stage here.
Yeah, you're right. And thank you for picking that up and making that point. I think it's important. We all forget. But I think we have to just redirect ourselves. So yeah, so I was talking about, I answered that question, I think, to someone today. they talk about, if I'm in an assisted living facility in a county that have not seen any COVID cases, but we still taking, because every day passing by, we kind of finding a new county sometime, that they're still coming up. So we don't really know what's, if there is a case or not in that county and where that case will actually happen. So I think we have to be careful. But what I said to that facility is that if you are taking that person out of the apartment and you have a backyard or something like that, that there is no community person there, you can, on a one-on-one basis, within the premises of the building, can take that person out. Have to be innovative sometime. You take them out on a one-on-one basis. Have them exercise 30 minutes or something like that. Take them back. Bring the next person in, and so that they can see the daylight, they can enjoy that, but there is no gathering in there. So I think sometimes we have to find a little bit way where we can do it safely. I think in those communities where the transmission is not going on, I think that can make sense, but still we cannot. I don't think so. We are at a time right now just lift the restriction. I think we don't want to get into those situations where all the facilities has gotten, the infection. In terms of the infection control program, we are advising if people have those kind of questions, they can call us. ICAP is holding office hours from 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the evening. They can call us. They can email us at any time. People call me, at any point of time in the day, and I do answer their questions. So I think we have a resource in place, and if those one-on-one kind of cases they want to discuss, we are available. I think this is a good point to talk about that. This program of ICAP was placed about 4.5 years ago, and it is a state-funded program through a CDC grant. It is very innovative program. I don't think so we have similar kind of program anywhere in the country where a state health department has kind of merged or partnered with the academic medical school and an academic center academic medical center in the state, and come and bring the expertise to the state health department. So in a way, indirectly, ICAP experts are working for the state. So I think we should utilize that opportunity. And I think I commend the DHHS to have that vision to put this in place 4.5 years ago, and that's why we have educational response in the state for long-term care facilities established well before, because we were ready, well before any long-term care case actually happened. So I think our long-term care facilities are very educated on what to do, and they are doing a great job.
And I think it's also, just Dennis, on that point, to recognize that the folks who are in our long-term care facilities are at greater risk from the standpoint of they're older and they've got oftentimes underlying health conditions, not universally. I think there was a good news out of Spain that the oldest woman in Spain, who was 113 years old, got coronavirus and survived it. So being older does not necessarily mean that you can't beat the virus. You can. But generally, if you are older, you have more underlying health care conditions, and that puts you at greater risk to the virus. And so that's why we've taken such care. And if you look at the fatalities we've had here in the state, 70% of them have been in our long-term care facilities. Right. So, and that's not unique to Nebraska. That is true all across this country and in other countries as well, that it's generally older people with those underlying conditions that are at greater risk, which is why we're taking so much care with these long-term facilities. We know that it's a burden on the families. We know it's a burden on the residents. We just really want to be careful about this because they are at such risk.
Jay Beller, I want to ask you a couple of questions as our time kind of winds down here a little bit, but state basketball, boys state basketball, that's when all this started to happen. You had to make some very tough decisions about limiting the crowd to pretty much just family in the stands. What lesson did you learn from that you're going to be able to take forward?
I think we learned that it's definitely going to be a work in progress, and we have a lot of different groups we work with. But I was very pleased that the NSA was in the loop with the governor's office and the mayor of Lincoln, and there needs to be protocol in place from our organizations, which we're starting to develop at that time. When something like this happens, it's not a good time to rely on a plan when you don't have that plan. So those are the things that, and again, we had to work with the schools too, because we didn't know who immediate family was. We put that burden on them and said, you bring your immediate family on. And I think for the most part, schools are very good about doing that.
And another quick question, what about drama, speech, one-act plays? Are they going to be affected as well? well, just like the athletes?
At this point in time, the only thing in the school that's open is our gymnasiums. And so until they hear further from us, they can condition and weight train with everybody else. And I'm not trying to be smart about that, but the truth of it is, schools, as far as I'm concerned with Dr. Bloomstead, and I've talked to him, they're still not open at this point in time for any of those activities.
I also just want to compliment the work again that Jay and the other folks have done too with regard to that state basketball tournament, because if you look at the day that was happening and they were having it with just family members in there, that was also, I believe, the same day that the Creighton Big East tournament team got canceled at halftime, right?
Was. Mm-hmm.
So again, if you just look at the steps that local leaders made, like Jay or Mark Shepard in Fremont, what he did with the Fremont schools, these people made the decisions that were very preemptive, and in often cases doing it at the same time states like New York were not doing things or doing it the same day. So again, our basketball tournament, much smaller scale than the Big East tournament, but yet we were watching with family the same day they were getting canceled. Mark Shepard canceled, went straight into his spring break March 9th. I don't think the New York City schools closed until March 15th. I could be wrong on that, but it's ballpark. You can see that we took the same sort of steps concurrently, if not a little before, and we weren't nearly impacted by the virus at that point. And that's one of the reasons why Nebraska, because we had great decisions by people like Jay to take these steps, that Nebraska was not impacted as much as other states have been.
20 seconds. A lot of athletes are out there watching. You said we're going to do this incrementally. Are we going to see more openings in June and July?
So, we want to take these steps in June. We're going to be looking at other sports, and we'll take gradual steps as we see that we think that everything is stable. So this is just one step, but we will be looking at other sports as well.
All right. Thank you very much. That's all the time we have tonight. Thank you to Governor Pete Ricketts, also to Dr. Mohammed Salman Ashraf, and to Jay Beller. Also to our NET crew working behind the scenes to bring this program to you. You can watch tonight's program online at netnebraska.org/coronavirus. You can also send us your questions for next week's live town hall with Governor Ricketts on another special edition of Speaking of Nebraska. That'll be coming up Thursday at 8:30 Central on NET, NET Radio, and also streaming online. Don't forget, you can also watch the governor's press conferences every weekday at 2 p.m. We'll stream those on NET, and you can also hear them on NET Radio. Well, until next week, I'm NET News Director Dennis Kellogg. Thanks for watching.